What do you think of their offseason and some of the guys they were able to get?
Well, they signed Bol Bol, so I mean, once you throw him in there.
We heard all the rumors about the Suns possibly picking up Bol Bol as someone who's covered the Magic. What can you tell Suns fans about him and the upside, but also the work that he needs as a player?
Yeah, I mean, the upside, obviously Bol Bol brings a lot of excitement, especially in transition. That combination of size, length, handles, fluidity, it's something special. And there's a clip that always circulates, I think it was against the Hawks, I think a December game. Around that time, he's, going transition between the legs, behind the back, he dunks, the entire bench is like, oh my gosh! Those are the kind of plays that, that you like I said, just raises the energy of the building, raises the energy of the team. So that kind of what he brings. Just spectacular plays. Things he needs to work on is just consistency. You saw him start off very well last season, and then as the season went on, it was his first time really playing, being in a rotation. So whether it was fatigue, defensively, there were things he needed to clean up. Technique, there was a lot of times that he would catch a ball, trying to attack, and he would either travel or step out. I think more so travel and step out of bounds. So just some technique things he needs to clean up, maybe a couple focus things. Especially defensively more than anything else. But yeah, I mean, he's an exciting player. How much impact winning, that's something that helps really work on more, with the Suns, it sounds like, or beyond that.
Did it surprise you that the Magic waived him, or was that kind of something that you were expecting?
I don't know about surprise. It was just that that team has so much young talent that has progressed. And Bol was progressing himself, like I said, early on. But then when you get to that midpoint of the year, I think it was like early January, you could tell, I think he contracted COVID, and he came back, come off the bench. He just wasn't the same player after that as he was before that. So, and the Magic are trying to take the next step in their development, as individually, players, but also as a team, cohesively. And, there were moments where it just didn't look like, Bol was ready to take that next step with him. And what he needs more than anything is just time and space and opportunity to iron out those kinks in this game, iron out those things in this game. So not surprised that the Magic did that. I know they really liked him. They really were high on him when they brought him in. But, if you don't show the progress that, they want to see by a certain time, or there's just a roster crunch, they had to cut somebody to open up the space. That's just kind of, I guess, the deal with these kinds of things.
Last question, obviously the big one for Suns fans. What can they expect from Bol Bol if he signs with the Phoenix Suns?
Some possessions that make you shake your head for sure. Look, man, he's an interesting prospect. I don't know quite what to expect. I was a little surprised that Orlando let him go, though, just because I did think that he showed some, pretty significant flashes there. He's long, he can shoot a little bit, he can dribble a little bit. Sometimes you're like, oh, stop dribbling. But then it's like, well, hold on, how did he get through all that and end up laying the ball up or dunking the ball? I don't know. He's an interesting character to watch. Exactly what to expect, the unexpected, I would say.
You mentioned needing kind of the time and the space to grow as a player a little bit. Phoenix obviously has very lofty aspirations heading into next year. Do you feel like that might be a good fit for him, or is it going to be kind of difficult for him to maybe carve out minutes for himself on a team like that?
Yeah, that was actually why I was surprised that that was a team that was interested in picking him up, just because that's a contending team. That's a team looking to win the championship, and how much a consistent role can you give a player who needs more time to iron out the kinks in their game? Needs time to may not be there defensively from day one, and he needs to work on that. Obviously Bol's going to work on the summer on his game, but he's going to need to play through mistakes, and I just don't know how many mistakes the Suns can afford for him to play through. So I was more so surprised about where he's going to. I thought for Bol it'd be good for him to go to another younger team, or a team that's lower in the standings that can afford to, I guess, let him play through the mistakes. But personally, I just have a hard time seeing him having that consistent role like he did with the Magic. But we'll see. Maybe they're so confident in the group that they have, the vets that they have. They say we can take this high upside bet and see what it turns into. And if not, we move forward with our relationship. But I will say I was more surprised that the Suns were interested rather than the Magic letting them go.